So 5 years ago, I did a video called Why Agile, Why Now? So what's happened over the course of that time? We've opened up a lot of different countries, did a lot of hundreds of millions of dollars in sales, brought in thousands and hundreds of thousands of team members, developed a great deal, 3 more product divisions. So much has happened that I wanted to come back and do this from today. Why Agile, why now? And we're going to post this on our replicated website that all of our team members use to send links to candidates for the business. And I want to share, here we are in 2011, and so I want us to explore why Agile, why now in 2011. And the place to naturally start is going to be gel matrix technology, the Agile product line. When I got excited about Agile 5 years ago, well, here's what got me excited. It was this product right, no, it's not even here. We don't even have one. The Fit, which looked like this color, which was, we had 2 products back then, but what got me excited was this gel pack. That I looked at that and I said, this is the first fresh product idea we've had in network marketing for 15 years. Because for 15 years, it was juice company after juice company after, it was just, the dial was stuck on stupid. Because they had been this first juice company that did a fair degree of success. And they had their kind of a sexy story. You know, we've got this special ingredient, it comes from this special root or this berry, and it's grown on this half of this mountain, and we own the mountain, and all the indigenous people have been eating this secret berry for thousands of years, and they all lived to be 150 years old, and nobody ever got sick, and you know, and it was, they were always in Fiji or Tahiti or some exotic place. You know, it was never outside of Cleveland or Chicago or anywhere that anybody could check this stuff. But of course, I've been to Fiji, I've been to Tahiti, I've been to all those places, and there's nobody drinking those juices. Okay, those juices, I mean, that's, they don't make in a year what 1 bottle of those juices cost, right? But it was a sexy story the first time, and maybe the second time, and then 3rd time, 5th time, 40th time, 50th time. Literally, and I actually, one of the vice presidents of the original juice company, the very first one, he came to a workshop I was teaching. And he said, Randy, so far we have tracked 79 companies who have knocked off our juice idea. That was 5 years before Agile. That number 79 was probably well past 200, perhaps approaching 300. So I looked at gel matrix technology and I said, this is the sexiest product idea we've had in network marketing in 15 years. So that really got my attention. But what we had back then was 2 products. We had XO, which is our antioxidant product, amazing product, 200 different antioxidants. And we know that that's a product everybody needs every day. Your body's ability to manufacture antioxidants reduces as you get older. Antioxidants fight free radicals. Which are the things that, you know, that's what cause your bones to deteriorate, your skin to wrinkle, your organs to break down. Antioxidants are really important. So that XO, that was a breakthrough product 5 years ago. It's a breakthrough product still today. The other product was Fit, appetite suppressant, certainly a very necessary product back then, even more necessary today. Obesity is a worldwide epidemic now. It's just crazy, out of control. You know, 80 or 90% of what we eat on a daily basis today is fake food. It's not real food. Real food is fruits and vegetables and nuts, right? But we've been convinced by the advertising agencies and all these commercials on TV that cake and cookies and chips and it's real food. But that's not real food. It's manufactured food substitutes. So Fit was really this right product at the right time because it's not a diet product. It's an appetite suppressant. So the way Fit worked was you take it 30 to 40 minutes before your major meal, ideally 2 major meals of the day, and it reduces your appetite. It fills you up. You don't have hunger cravings. You don't crash like you do when you do, binge diets, and you don't, then, because what happens with diet is people don't eat. And then what does your body do? Your body says, hey, I'm not getting enough nutrients, so it stores fat. And it burns muscle, because that's how your body protects you. If you were really starving out in the desert, or you had been in a plane crash and you were on a desert island, there was no food, a deserted island, and there was no food, and that's what your body do. It eats muscle and it preserves fat as a survival mechanism. And then, of course, after some period of time on the diet, you're going to break down. When you drive by Krispy Kreme and you see that hot donuts now, neon sign flashing, what are you going to do? If you're like me, your car's got alignment problems, you whip in there, and then what happens? You gain the weight back, sometimes even more, but what you've actually done is you've changed the composition of your body, you've reduced your muscle mass, and you've increased your fat. And you're much riskier chance of heart attack, stroke, high cholesterol, all those issues that we talk about. So Fit was a great product, but wasn't that good tasting, the first generation. So here we are in 2011. What's different? EXO is still our #1 product in the world. It's a great tasting product. Everybody in the world needs it every day. We still have Fit. It tastes a whole lot better. It produces even better results. And what do we have now? We have tens of thousands of testimonials of people who have lost weight with the Fit, got in better shape, better, the muscle, percentage of muscle, all of that better. So that was the only products we had when I made that video 5 years ago. So where are we at today? Well, now we have a product called Heart. A heart-specific antioxidants in here, things like selenium and coenzyme Q10, right? Not 12, I always mix those up, Q10. So here's a product that helps you maintain a healthy cholesterol. Now, the #1 cause of death in the world today is heart attack, stroke, the issues with that, high cholesterol, high blood pressure. So here's a healthy, natural product that allows you to maintain a healthy cholesterol. Forget all of the other products with Agel. And it would actually help us if we did this, I think. If we had to throw away all the other products and we changed the name of the company to Heart, and this was the only product we had, I believe we'd do about $2 billion a year. Because all people would be talking about it, saying, have you done, what's your cholesterol reading? What's your hereditary history of your family? Do you have, heart disease problems in your family? What's in your family tree? We could do a couple $2 billion a year if this was our only product. So what's better in 2011? That's better. Umi. Probably one of our most advanced, what we would call the gel-ceutical products. Meaning a pharmaceutical type of product that doesn't require prescription and can be delivered in the gel matrix. And when people ask you about the gel matrix, it's important that you know that the gel matrix itself would be healthy if we didn't put any of those other ingredients in. Because it's actually made with guar gum and xanthan gum. So it's actually soluble fiber. So if we just did the gel without all these amazing ingredients, it would be healthy for people. It would really help. Because, of course, people really need more fiber in their diets. But take this one, Umi, breakthrough product, because the active ingredient in this is fucoidan. Now, coastal cultures, places like Japan, have known about the benefits of fucoidan for thousands of years. Because what it is, it's harvested from algae. It's the active ingredient in algae. And it's basically food for your immune system. So you take this product, and you go to PubMed.com probably .org, I think, right? All the medical stuff. There's, you know, when we started, I think there was, when we introduced this product, I think there was 300 studies about the efficacy of Fucoid. Then there was 400. Then there was 500. Then there was 600. The last time I checked, there was more than 700 studies showing the efficacy of Fucoid. It's great for the digestive tract. It's great for the respiratory system. It's basically food for your immune system. This is my second favorite product. Why is it my second favorite product? Because I've had asthma for 20 years. I couldn't go anywhere without inhalers. I haven't used an inhaler in almost 3 years. Why? And now I will admit, I take 4 of these because I had a compromised immune system. I'm flying on airplanes all the time, breathing that moldy, recycled air, all of those kind of things. I'm very active. I play a lot of softball. So I do 4 of these as opposed to, you know, doing that inhaler thing. Same thing, great for the digestive tract. So if you know people with stomach issues, ulcers, colitis, anything with digestive, Fucoid is a very healthy ingredient for them. So when I look at this, if I take heart, the same thing, by the way, where we talk the heart-specific antioxidants, the #1 category of prescribed drugs in the world today is statin drugs. Statin drugs are very, I mean, they save some people's lives. Let's be real. There's cases where you need them, but they're not. There's a lot of very dangerous side effects of statin drugs. They're actually muscle wasting drugs. So what if you take the Agel Heart? There's a product they put in the healthy heart antioxidants, and then the active ingredient in statin drugs is actually oyster mushroom powder. But what heart, we have the oyster mushroom powder, the natural oyster mushroom powder, in a non-prescription dosage. So again, it helps people maintain healthy cholesterol. Flex. Here's a product for joint and cartilage issues. We certainly didn't have this 5 years ago. Only product in the world. This is another one of these breakthrough gel-ceutical products that nobody can compete with this product. No company anywhere in the world. Like Umi, there's nobody in the world can compete with that Umi product. Same thing, if we threw away all the other products, if we called this the Umi company, and that product was the only one we had, I think we could do $3 or $4 billion a year with just Umi. Now you come to Flex, it's another one of those category creators. How many, what is it? 80, 120, however many million baby boomers who are all in their 50s and 60s and 70s right now, and they got the bad knees and bad back and tennis elbow, and they're breaking down. Only product in the category I've seen anywhere in the world that has the 4 ingredients: MSM, glucosamine, celadrin, and chondroitin. Now some of those are for flexibility, some are for lubrication, and some are for pain relief. You put all 4 together. Now here's the fascinating thing about this product. This is the worst tasting product we have. Why is that? Because of course it's got glucosamine sulfate in there. Now what is sulfate? Sulfur. If you ever fired a gun, you smell that bitter, acrid smell of gunpowder. That's from the sulfur. So this is not a great tasting product, but it's a palatable product. I would say it's our worst tasting product, but it's very palatable. Now here's the fascinating thing. We're in 67 countries now. Every single country that we have introduced this product, within 2 to 4 months, it's in the top 2 or 3 best-selling products in every single country. Why? Because it works. In literally minutes or hours, people who have been in pain for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years see results with this product. So throw away all the other products, change the name of the company to Flex, we could do $3 or $4 billion a year. Glow. Here's a product. I hate this product. Why do I hate this product? Because I have to clip my fingernails all the time because of this product. Because here's a product that feeds your hair, skin, and nails. This was a product that came after we did the ageless skincare line, which I'm going to talk about in a minute. But the idea of saying, okay, how do we feed those nutrients from the inside? And so here's a product specifically formulated for hair, skin, and nails. Go into a department store. Look at all the money people are spending for hair, skin, and nails, the billions upon billions of dollars, and it gives you an idea of what our market potential would be if this was the only product we had. Ohm. This was like our third or fourth product that we came out with. Here's a product, a natural product, a healthy product that gives you better mental clarity and better physical energy. Now, this is not a caffeine product. We know that's not healthy, racing your heart, drinking all those caffeine. People lined up at those coffee shops buying those $4, $5, $6 cups of Java, you know, half decaf, mocha laca, akagaka, you know, with all that drinking. There's, you know, I live in Miami. Let me tell you, we got all that Cafe Cubano. I know people, they drink 15 a day of those, okay? Do you know how unhealthy that is? And then we go and we look at all those energy drinks. And what are they? They're sugar and ephedra, which is, or Chinese word for it is ma wang. If you have a heart condition, you can die from that. That's how dangerous it is. That's why the FDA has been, you know, trying to close down companies with those kind of products for a couple of decades, because if you're really not careful, those products are very dangerous. Here's a product without caffeine, without ephedra, that, listen to this. Imagine if this was the only product we had. Here's a product that allows your body to convert carbohydrate to energy. I mean, did you hear that? Basically, we have a product that turns spaghetti into energy. Now, if that isn't a product that's near and dear to my heart, I don't know what is, okay? So, take this. Here we are. We're in Denver, is where they're filming this. You know, I think of all those big office buildings downtown here in Denver. Man, if you just took an afternoon at 3 o'clock and tiptoed into some of those offices where all those prisoners of war are trapped in those cubicles, and you just dangled this over the cubicle to those people when their head's about ready to hit the desk at 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and you gave them one of these, and just left your phone number, they'd be crawling naked over broken glass, begging you to sell them more of this product. Okay, we could do billions of dollars if this was our only product. Now, I told you the Umi was my second favorite product. Let me tell you my favorite product, green. Because here's a product that I asked for 5 years ago. When I was in the meeting, the president and the CEO and the vice presidents, and they were saying, where do you think we should go in the future? I was saying, man, you got to get a greens product. I'm telling you, I go into the Whole Foods market, and I go over to that juice bar, and I'm buying these shots of wheatgrass, and they're like $3, $4 a shot for this little thing. But they nourish, they detox, they cleanse, they're so good. And there's wheatgrass and barley grass. Get us one of those, or a spirulina. Man, I used to work in a company back in the 80s, and we had a spirulina product, and that was huge sales, hundreds of millions of dollars. So I was begging for that. When Niti joined the company, he was begging for that. A lot of the leaders who came in, when they did product focus sessions with the diamonds, we were saying, bring us a green product. So we thought, and they said, okay, well, you know, we'll put that in the hopper. Let's see if we could do that. So I'm thinking they're going to come up with a wheatgrass product or a spirulina product. What do the Agel scientists do? They create a product with broccoli, spinach, spearmint, peppermint, which are very good for your stomach, lemongrass, wheatgrass, barley grass, chlorella, chlorophyll. This is the ultimate superfood. If you bought the equivalent of this in a juice bar, you'd pay $20 for a shot like that. They would charge you $20. And they would have to grind up enough stuff that would, you know, fit in, I don't know what, a size of a bowling ball, right? This is such a breakthrough product, and because with all of those ingredients, what it does is it nourishes your digestive tract, it detoxes your digestive tract, and cleanses your digestive tract. So, I mean, talk about state of the art. This product is flat out amazing. Throw away all the other products. Just have this. We could do $10 billion a year. So that's just a sum of our Gelceutical line. Second product category, we didn't have this 5 years ago, the ageless skincare line. 5 different products made to nourish and feed your skin from the outside in. It's literally nutrition for your skin. The world's first gel matrix technology skincare line. State of the art. We didn't have that 5 years ago. Throw away all of the other products. Say we were just a skincare company. If we just had this product, the skincare line, you know how many people could be driving pink Cadillacs in this room? Now, fortunately, you don't have to buy a pink Lamborghini in our company. You can get whatever color you want, all right? But we didn't have that then. So we started with the Gelceutical line. We went with the ageless skincare line, then created topical bulk gels, and then topical gels, which is I don't see the Flex Rub up here, but would be, let me get that so I can show the nice people at home on the camera. So here's third product category, topical gels, and this one is the Flex, which remember the joint and cartilage one. So with all those 4 ingredients, so you can take that gel and put it right on your tennis elbow or your bad knee or whatever. So that's a third product category. And then of course the fourth product category is gel strips, because one of the innovations that we talk about a lot, we use the example of Listerine mouthwash, because all of the mouthwash companies were kind of a static category till Listerine created the breast strip. And that was the most successful product launch in history. So Agel looked at the packaging and the shipping and how they could get, because we're in so many markets around the world, and they said, could we take that technology, could we create strips that you could put them in your mouth and then the strips would dissolve into the gel. And this was the result. So we've got 2 products so far in this category. His, which is a male libido enhancement product, and REM, which is a gel strip melatonin product for better sleep. So you take these products and it gives you just this whole nother product category. So 4 different product categories, about more than a dozen new products that we didn't have 5 years ago. So if I say, why Agel, why now? This was a great story 5 years ago. It's a better story today. If we take the compensation plan, we were the best story in the business 5 years ago because Agel created the Quadra plan. The name came because there were 4 types of compensation plans that had been done in network marketing over the almost 60-year history of the business. So Agel looked and said, well, if we just started with a fresh slate, if we had a white canvas, and we were going to create the perfect compensation plan, instead of doing what everybody else did, which is, for years and years it was stair-step breakaway companies. The first companies that started in 1956 and 1959, they were all stair-step breakaway companies. And that's all they were for, 30, 40 years. Then binaries got hot for a while. Matrix was hot a little bit in the 80s. Different kind of unilevel came out, turned out horrible, went away. So there were 4 types that had been done. Agel said, well, what could we do? Could we take the best elements of all 4 of those plans and get rid of the bad elements. If you take like the binary plan. If you read the first edition of my book on network marketing, you know I hate binaries like poison. I felt they were very destructive for our business because they were actually created by, they were just simply, to be honest, they were created by con artists. Because what happened in network marketing? Like any profession, you have honest people and you have people not so honest people. Back in the 80s, people saw all of the money that was being made with network marketing, and so we attracted some shady characters. And they said, hey, why don't we get in that business and we can front load people? We'll just tell them, hey, Daniel, if you buy $50,000 worth of water filters, you're going to get a free bonus car your first month. And you're going to get a diamond pin, and we're going to put you in the newsletter, and you're going to be famous. And lots of people got front-loaded with water filters or fiber cookies or protein powders, and they were filling up garages and warehouses full of things. Fortunately, the government here and governments in other countries stepped in and said, no, you cannot do that. If you can't, somebody can't use or resell whatever products they purchase in a 30 or 60-day period, we're going to close you down. So the binary was created by the con artists, because now they didn't sell you products, they sold you income centers, which existed in the ethers. So they could say, well, you buy an income center for $250. But if you buy 10 income centers, then you could put this one under yourself and then under yourself again and under yourself again. And you could just keep re-entering the structure. And if you buy 100 income centers, you're going to be making money on all of those. And then, of course, when the attorney generals looked around, there was nothing in the garage. There was no evidence like there were with the water filters. So the binary plan that was created by con artists who would come in, start new companies, front load people with these income centers. They'd have a 2-year run. They'd make $60, $80, $100 million. They'd move to an offshore island somewhere, and they'd never be seen from again. So I hated that. So Agel looked at that and said, well, how could we take the good part of that, which is if people just built two sides of a network, if people were placing people underneath other people, how could we do that but not allow people to get front-loaded with income centers, not have to re-enter the binary a bunch of times? Because, of course, every time you did that, you had to pay for those. Like there were people, even today, there's people in binary type of companies, they'll tell you, well, my bonus check is $30,000 a month. And that's true. They got a bonus check for $30,000 a month. But what they didn't tell you is that they're in one of those companies that cleanses or washes the volume every week. And then, or at 5,000 CV or $5,000. So what happens is they get 5,000 here and 5,000 here, and then they have to buy another income center to go beneath there. And then it gets down to 5,000 again. They have to buy another income center. Well, if you take my left leg last month was $1.2 million, right? Imagine if every time it got to 5,000, I had to buy another income center. What's 1.2 million divided by 5,000? The answer is a lot, right? And of course, those income centers, they sell for $150, $200, $250. So those are basically retirement plans for the company founder, so that, you know what I mean? So I just said, no, we're not doing that. Somebody serious, they can come in at the executive or professional level. They're going to get 3 income centers. That's all they're ever going to get. And then they'll build the left side and the right side. They'll have a reason to go down. We don't wash the volume weekly. We don't cap it at 5,000. As you guys in this room know, you go down to 250,000 in volume. You get 10% of that on the lesser network. So that's $25,000 you can get residual, and you can do that 3 times. So it's $75,000 a month people can make with that. So that was a big innovation. The biggest innovation, though, was the leverage matching bonus. Connor, this is the thing we were talking about at the break. This was because in the old model, it was always breakaways. You'd help someone, you'd train them, get them to a direct status or director or supervisor, whatever it was. Then they'd break away and they weren't in your group any longer. And you'd get a smaller override on them. But sometimes you'd have people break away and you didn't have enough left in your own group, so you didn't get that override on those people. So you could bring in a superstar. You could bring in somebody who brought in $50 million a month in volume, but if that was the only person you brought in, you'd make zero. So Agel said, no, how can we make this more fair? How can we take the best elements of these 4 plans and get rid of the bad stuff? Like the matrix plan, you know, it was what happened with those is most of your organization was outside of your pay range very quickly. The unilevel plan, like I say, that was just a failed experiment. It never worked. No company ever was successful. That, you know, any company that started with the unilevel either went out of business or they had to change their plan. So Agel created the Quadra plan. We were the buzz of the profession 5 years ago. It simply was a better plan. Fast forward to 2011, you know what? The plan is even better. We've done some things. If you take the team volume commission, where we said, you know what? Instead of the 10%, we're going to give people 7% a month, and then we're going to put a 3% in an escrow account. And we're going to pay it once a year. So it's going to be a retention and a loyalty bonus to keep people in the company. Like I looked at my report the other day. In my 3% thing, what are we? We're probably halfway through the year. I've got about $160,000 in my little 3% account. That if I left tomorrow, I would lose that money. So I'm not looking at why would I leave? You know, you create that retention so people say, we're not looking for the junkies who want to run in, be in for 6 months and jump out. We're looking for people who want to create a career with Agel. So we'll enhance the plan and build in some mechanisms like that. The change we did where we said, okay, to get the best payout, you've got to have an active distributor on both legs. That was a huge change for us. Makes us a much stronger company because now it gets rid of that entitlement mentality, or the people who came in and they just happened to be in the right space. They had a running line going that just, you know, built all the way to China. They never did anything, and they sponsored a couple people over here. They were getting big checks without really contributing to the plan. If we look at the enhancements that Agel did last September in the convention, it made us a stronger company. It made us a more viable company. So we're still going to be doing bonus checks 30 years from now, 50 years from now. So again, you know, update this for 2011. We had a great story 5 years ago with the compensation plan. The story is better today. Financing. You know, what is the, you guys know when we did the ABB a little early, I shared my story. I was in 2 startup companies in my life. They both went out of business at 2 years old because they just didn't have enough money. One grew too slow, one grew too fast. Because that's really the truth is if you don't have buckets and buckets of money, you not only can't grow too slow, you can't grow too fast because you can't finance the growth. With Agel being backed by Ash Capital, we had the money to get through those first 2 years, to get through the bumps in the road. Because you know what? Every company will have bumps in the road. I don't care who you are. It just happens. You cannot start a new business from scratch and not have some bumps in the road. So here we are 5 years later. We've got this very viable company which produces a great deal of money. And you know what? Ash Capital is committed as ever. I want to let you know, I've met Alan Ashton, who is the founder, the guy who created WordPerfect and sold it to Novell for $1.5 billion. I have met Jim Savitz. I have met Dave Harkness. I have met Sherm Margetts. I have met all the senior partners of Ash Capital. I had lunch with Alan, and I can tell you, they're just amazing people, and their commitment to Agel is stronger in 2011 than it was in 2006. So that story has gotten even better. If we look at the corporate structure, we had some really good people when we founded the company. People who really wanted to do something special. But let's be real. I'm just going to put this on the line and tell you the truth. We outgrew our resources. We started as a family company, and you know what? We got too big, too fast, and we became the victim of our own success. If I'm honest, and I'm going to be honest, I will tell you, I think we did really well the first 4 years, and then we actually regressed in a number of areas because we got into so many markets, we had so many products out, we had so much growth. We outran the resources of a small family-run business. The business was being run out of our CEO's pocket, kind of, you know, which you can do. I mean, there's this entrepreneurial mindset that it takes to found a company and start a company. And we were very fortunate to have that with our co-founders. But we got to the point where, like Kentucky Fried Chicken did, and Papa John's did, and you know IBM did, and Apple did, and Microsoft did, and every great company which has become multi-billion-dollar company, where we realized, no, if we want to go to the next level, if we want to become that next multi-billion-dollar company, we're going to have to bring in some new people, some different people, some people who have experience running billion-dollar companies. People who understand our profession, they're loyal, they have good hearts and all of that, and they have the expertise. And you look at where we are today, you know, Jeff and Jeremiah as co-CEOs, I'm so happy for those guys because they have both been here since day one. And if you say, who are the two guys who always had the back of the field? Always, you know, who was in there pounding on the desk for incentive trips and, you know, improving the compensation plan and better market material? That was Jeff Higginson. I mean, he was not, he'll tell you, he was not the most popular guy there, okay? Because he was the guy fighting for the field. You look at Jeremiah. Jeremiah is the only person in the entire world who understands the quadruplan, okay? There's nobody who can understand. I mean, he could just do it in his sleep. He's brilliant. And he's young, but he's brilliant. And again, he's always had the field. He's always had our back. And I'm really happy that the company made that choice to put those guys in because I think they deserve that chance. And I am so excited for them. I'm so happy for them, and I'm so proud for them. And I support them 150%. So I loved what we had 5 years ago for corporate support. I like it even better today. Field leadership, next thing you look at. We had some really dynamic people when we launched this company. We had some big name people. And you know what? Every one of those people contributed to helping us get where we are today. And I'm grateful for every one of them. Even the ones who have quit and gone to other companies and the ones that have been terminated for breaching the policies and procedures and all of that, I'm still grateful for all of them because you know what? We wouldn't have got here without those people. They were all part of the process. But where we are today in 2011 and 2012 is we're making the transition from Agile version 1.0 to Agile version 2.0. And you know what? Those people were not meant to be here for 2.0. And that's okay. Agile's perfect for everybody. Everybody's not perfect for Agile. And that's okay. We celebrate that. And anybody who's not here, we wish them the best success in what we're doing. But I like what we've got. You know, if I look at, remember, I'm in this business 25 years now. And the one thing I can tell you about network marketing that I think is so unique versus other businesses in the world today, I think a lot of time in our business, the difference, the one big difference between failure and success is the ability to hang on to that tree when other people get shaken off the tree. That's the thing. Because if you take, let's take Amway, right? Beautiful, fine, wonderful company. You say, wow, I bet they never had any problems. They're the most successful original company. They had the United States government go to court and try to close them down and say they were an illegal pyramid scheme. They had to fight the United States government, and they won. Canada said, we're going to close you down in the entire country, because they had like distributors who weren't paying the sales tax or something. And so they went after them to close down the entire country. You say, well, did any diamond directors leave Amway and go to other companies? Probably just 10 or 15,000 in the last 20 years. Probably just 10 or 15,000. Right? How many negative stuff on the internet, bad publicity, people who left the company. But you know what? What are they doing? $6-7 billion a year. Created so many millionaires. And go and find those people. I'm not even going to mention names, because we're on video, and so I'm not going to embarrass anybody. But a lot of you know these names. These are people that are pioneers of the Amway Corporation. And you know what? They're multi-millionaires today, and you know why? Because they hung on to the branches when other people got shaken off. Or is it shook off? I'm a high school dropout, so I don't know which one is the proper one. So shook off or shaken off, whichever one it is. So I'll tell you what, 15 years from now, 20 years from now, they'll be talking about some of the people in this room. I'm one of them, and I know some of you are of them as well. And they'll be talking about you as the pioneers of Agile. The people who, because did we have people leave? Did we have this or that? Of course, any growing company, you're going to face challenges. And you know what? We live to tell the story. And that's the future. So here we are, 2011, 2012. I revisit the subject again. Why Agile? Why now? The product story is better. Compensation story is better. The financing, the financial wherewithal, the sales, the records we've broken, the trends we've set. It's all better. Field leadership, better story. Corporate leadership, better story. So my conclusion, I loved Agile. When I made that first tape 5 years ago, this was the company I waited my whole life for. I'd been in those mature companies and realized I couldn't create wealth there. I'd been in those startup companies that didn't have enough money and couldn't get past the 2-year thing. I've been in the flatline companies that just never created any excitement, never created any growth. I waited my whole life for a company like this to come around, and it came around. And we've done the foundational work. We've got the key people. We've got the product foundation in place, the compensation plan in place, the financial plan in place, the field leadership in place, the corporate leadership in place. So I can't wait until 2016 when I make my next tape, Why Agile, Why Now? Thanks, everybody.
The A-Team.